Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another coaching call for the DigiEduHack 2023 edition. My name is Madeline, and during the last 11 week and already also next week, so 12 weeks, I will be giving you 14 coaching calls to help you on your DigiEduHack host journey this year, all the way from when you first register as a host to when you have very soon already successfully completed your own hackathon. You've seen me already several times, but if for some reason you're new here, we're already at week 11 out of 12. So if there's something previously that you have missed about recruiting participants or seeking sponsors or choosing your hackathon format or something else, please check out the playlist here on YouTube and watch those videos first. And if you have come all the way with us to this video, welcome to discuss the judging process and the submission of your winning solution today. If you have any questions, you can reach out either here in the chat or the comment section below, or then you can reach out to us through email later, contact@digieduhack.com. Or then you can join us in our support calls on Fridays at 10 a.m. CET on Discord, where we have interactive sessions and you can come with us in the video call and ask questions live. Without further ado, let's jump into today's video. As said, Coaching Call 11 will be about judging and evaluation and also submitting your winner solution. We will go through what the jury is doing in your event and what their work will be, the solution submission from when teams submit their solutions to you, and also, of course, later submitting your winner solution onward. We will also discuss evaluation and scoring, how the jury deliberation will go, and what happens after you've submitted your local winning solution. So, an overview of the jury's work. Before you actually start evaluating the teams and still towards the end of the hackathon, before the solution presentation takes place, take a moment to again gather your jury and run through the steps of their contribution to the hackathon. What will happen next? As we've discussed in previous calls, you will have a jury briefing already before the hackathon, so they should know what they will do, but keep this short session as a reminder of what will happen next and remind them of the different things that they will be doing. If your event has a pitching or a Q&A session or some other way of presenting their solutions, be clear with the jury how long the team gets. We suggest here that you could keep it to 5 minutes for each pitch of their final solutions, including any demo or visualization or anything. So anything the team wants to present, 5 minutes. After this, offer the judges, let's say 3 or 5 minutes or something else if that's what you want, but a strict time for the judges to ask questions after the pitch, but before filling in their scores. This way the team can still elaborate on more things and more details of their project. After the Q&A session, allow the judges to take a moment to record their scores and notes so that they don't forget by the time they've seen all of the presentations, and then they can't remember what they thought of what team and so on. So after each presentation, Q&A, give a minute or so to the jury to write down their scores before presenting and moving on to the next team. I might say this later again, but I'm already saying it now so I don't forget. Do be clear with the jury members that they should ask short questions, to the point questions, because whatever, if you choose 3 or 5 minutes or whatever the minute amount is, it'll go by fast. So give the same instructions to both the teams and the jury, short and to the point. After you've gone through all the presentations and all the scores, you can have a deliberation if you wish. You can also, of course, just gather the jury scores and then simply pick the top 3 highest scores, and those will be your winners. But if you want to have a deliberation to discuss these and make sure that the jury is aligned and the order is what they already thought in their scores, you can have a session for that. The moderator for this, it can be whoever from your team. They should take the judges' scores per team and then filter the top scores, so that there is a clear view of what the jury members thought when gathering all of their scores, and you don't have to have a messy conversation, but you know who is at the top when you get into this discussion. And here it comes again. Keep questions to the point. So even if you have 3, 4, or 5 minutes additional to the pitch, it's a super short time. So advise the jury to ask short and to the point questions. Don't ask something that they already saw in the pitch, but something new. And don't have too much background to your question. Sometimes a jury member might want to explain a lot about why they are asking a specific question, and it can take a lot of that 3 minutes. And do say the same to your teams. So they should also not repeat what was already said in the pitch unless absolutely necessary. But this is a chance for them to give new information and new details about their projects. The focus of the questions should be based on the evaluation criteria, since that's what the teams will then be evaluated on, of course. As a host or a moderator of this session, it's recommended to have a few simple backup questions, just to make sure that all the teams get a question, or at least 1, maybe even 2 questions, so that it's a fair fight between all of them. And do also advise your jury members to have a few sets of simple questions that they could basically ask every team. So if they can't come up with super specific questions, they can just ask these safe questions from those teams. And on the right-hand side here, you have a few example questions of what those could be. When it comes to the solution submission, we will first discuss the deliverable. So what will the teams deliver at the end of the hackathon? We do suggest that you ask your participants to create some sort of materials in the form of slides, for example, to guide and support their pitch. It's easier to keep track of the presentation and follow along if there's some sort of visual presentation to look at the same time. These should be submitted as one of those materials that they ultimately send in when submitting their final solution through the submission form. If you are throwing an online or blended hackathon, it's a good practice, as we've said in previous calls, to have participants and teams record their pitches in advance of the actual presentation time. This to reduce technical difficulties during the pitching and take away any glitches or anything else that might happen in a live online setting. Here we advise that you ask for a visible, we call it floating head, over the slides, so that you can first of all see the person pitching, kind of as you see me now in the corner, and you can still focus on the presentation, but you also see that I am here and I'm the one doing the actual pitching. So here we want to make sure that you know that it's an actual team member of that team who is pitching. And it is done now. It's not a presentation that they've done a year back, but it still feels real to this day, and so on. And also it gives that more pitch feeling, even though it's online, because in a physical pitch, you do look at the person on the stage and so on. So it gives you kind of that same next best option. The videos as well can be saved as a file and submitted through the same form in the web portal on digieduhack.com. If you have any demos or anything else extra that you A, require from your hackers, or B, they want to add, you can find additional fields and file upload options in the form as well. And here you can see lots of different formats that are supported there. So that's the deliverables and what you can require and ask from your participants, but how do they actually submit these materials? First of all, when the teams should send in their materials, whatever the deliverables will be, do set a reasonable deadline for the materials to be submitted prior to the presentation or evaluation, or however your design is. Maybe something like 1 or 2 hours before. This is so that you can check that you received all of the deliverables, all of the files are viewable, there's no issues opening the files, or you didn't receive any empty files, or whatever the case may be. If you have several teams, the risk might be a bit higher that there's something wrong with some of the materials. So have enough time that you have time to prepare those. If you're doing a presentation, this is also a good time for you to have all the teams' decks or materials in the right order. So from team 1, 2, 3, and so on, so that you have a smooth presentation process. The teams should submit on the digieduhack.com website or through the form that is supported by the DigiEduHack website. You can reach this form by or through your own participant personal area. So you go to participants, and then you have the link on the right of the participant name, and it's the same link for all. So this should be retrieved by you and then shared with your teams so that they can submit through that. If you also want to receive the materials through an external form or other type of collecting the materials, you are free to do so on top of this, but you also do need to have the teams send in through the DigiEduHack form. And only one member per team has to submit and should submit. When the teams have submitted through the DigiEduHack form, it is up to you as a host to approve these solutions. And it's one of your host missions as well. You can find the submitted solutions from your personal space again under solutions, and then you can approve the solutions from there. Approving a solution basically means that you are sure that it's unique and that it is created here in your event. And all the approved submissions will then be displayed publicly on the website. And here you can see again a better way of approving and publishing a solution. So as we can see, we're in our personal area, we're under solutions, and we have approved it here by going live. Excellent. So how do you decide your winner, and what should be the evaluation process? We will go through the jury scoring process and the evaluation grid next. This is already pre-done and provided to you, so you don't need to come up with your own evaluation criteria and scoring system and so on. This is because, as we know, you might have your own, or you will have your own local winners, but in the end, we will have global winners from all the hackathons at the end of this whole experience together. So that's why we need to have the same evaluation criteria and grids for all the hackathons that are taking place locally. You can have some, or I will show you as well, but you will have some evaluation criteria that is 10 points worth and some that it's 15 points worth. And you can also see here what makes for an excellent, good, fair, poor, or not good score. So The first criterion here is quality, both of the solution and of the team work. Quality of the solution here means, is the value proposition and aim of the solution clear? Does it answer a need? Does it involve digital tools? And so on. Quality of the teamwork here means, has the team proven their own capacity to deliver the project that they are presenting? Do they show engagement, motivation, commitment throughout the hackathon and in their final solution? The second criterion is relevance. And again, here you can see we have relevance to the spirit of DigiEduHack 2023, which is 15 points. And this basically means, does the solution answer the challenge that was given? And is it aligned with the DigiEduHack aim? And then we have relevance to a wider societal spectrum, and it's 10 points. So there you can see the difference. And here we are looking at, will the solution have a positive impact on society and the environment? Is it inclusive? And so on. The third criterion is originality. So is the solution innovative? Is it unique? Is it creative, disruptive, and so on? And on the right-hand side, you have the next criterion, which is feasibility, and for 15 points as well. And here we look at if the solution is realistic, how well has the implementation been considered in this final solution and in this project. And then we have the fifth criterion, which is sustainability. So is the solution viable in the mid or long run? Is it sustainable, and so on? And the sixth and final criterion is transferability. So can the solution be applied to other fields, and can it solve other problems in addition to the one presented in the presentation? You can look at these a bit more closely in your own time, but in a nutshell, this is the criteria that we will be working with. When the jury deliberates, the host or moderator or whoever from your team is leading the deliberation should collect the scores from all judges. Here you can think about how you want to do this, but it might be a good way for you to collect the scores and let the jury go and have a coffee or whatever while you collect them and count the scores and make sure that you know exactly which team has how many points and so on when thinking about all the scores from all the judges. Up to you how you do that. And here also go through that you have the scores per team, as I said, so you sum up the scores from all of the judges. And after this is done, you will gather with your jury members in a private area. If you're on site or blended, you can meet in a private room. And then if you're blended, you have the other judges online with you, or then it's an online private room if you're online. To save time here, because even though you might think that you have booked enough time, usually the jury has a lot to discuss and they have different opinions and they're experts in different fields and so on. So to save your own time and make sure that you have enough time to discuss those top teams, it's recommended that you actually start the discussion with the top score teams according to the scores that you just counted. And then if the jury members wish, they can also take in teams outside of those top scores. So let's say you are awarding top 3 teams, maybe start the discussion from a top 5 and then take it from there, just so that you don't immediately start discussing scores that you pretty highly think that will not be in the top in the end. So the thought is, of course, that at the end of the deliberation, you have decided on the winning team or winning teams again, depending on your own setup and your own challenge design. Note that even if you have more than one local winning team or awarded team, that is completely fine. But for the global competition, you can only send in one grand winning team. So even if you award, let's say, top 3 again, you will only send the grand winner, so the top 1 team, to the global competition. And the grand winner should, of course, be the one with the highest jury score. The jury can then settle on whatever prizes to award as you have them, or if it's not redefined already beforehand. And then you can also decide at the end of the deliberation session if a judge wants to present the winning teams at the award ceremony, give over whatever award you have. We do recommend this. It's actually very, very nice for the participants to see that the jury members take the time to present the prizes and hand them over and give a good motivation of why that team won and so on. So it is usually highly appreciated, but again, completely up to you how you do this. For this whole deliberation session, we do recommend that you book around an hour or something like this, just so that you have time to discuss the teams and come to an alignment, and also that you can update slides for your award ceremony, or if you're writing price checks with the team name of those awarded teams, or something else that needs to be prepped before the actual award ceremony. So after you have had your deliberation and you have had your award ceremony and you have awarded your winning teams, you still need to take some steps. After the winners have been chosen, you have to select which of 2 solution categories they fit best. And now I only mean the one grand winner that will be sent onward to the global competition of finalists. So after your one local grand winner has been chosen, select which of the 2 categories they fit best. I will show you the grid for this in the coming slides. So here first you have social impact and you have disruptive technology. And in the grid, there's a good way for you to determine which one it is. So we'll help you out there. There's also an experience level designation for beginner or experienced hackers. That again, I will show you how you choose that, but it should be defined. And then the winning team's information needs to be added to your host personal area, again, that we looked at previously, on the website prior to the end of the main stage event on 13th of November. So regardless of when your own hackathon is taking place, you need to add the winning team's information to your personal area by the end of 13th or before the actual main stage event on that day. And you can find instructions of this more detailed in your web guide. And before I move on, do remember that regardless of the language of your local event, this information needs to be added in English. So how do you work the grid? The grid, when it comes to experience level category, you have 3 support questions here, and I will walk you through how this is managed. So the first question is about hackathon experience. So you will look at if the team or team members in that team have participated in several hackathons previously. Do they have exposure to similar events from before? Are they experienced hackathon participants? And then you choose yes or no. The second question is about their skills level. So do they have prior experience and knowledge about the challenge area? So about digital education, about innovation, and so on. So are these topics that were worked on during the hackathon new to them or not? And again, yes or no. And then finally, the maturity of the solution. So have they already worked on the solution prior to their participation in DigiEduHack? So was it ideated during the hackathon, or was it a pre-existing idea that they developed further during the hackathon? And again, yes and no, by of course reading the questions and not my explanations, and just so that you answer to the right questions. When you then look at your answers and decide if it's experienced or beginner, we will go through it. Basically, if you have answered yes to 2 questions or more, it will be an experienced team, or experience level will be experienced. So let's say that you've answered yes on Q1, Q2, Q1, Q3, or Q3, Q2, whatever the combination is. You have 2 yes, then it's an obvious experienced. However, if you would choose no on skills level and maturity solution, so you have 2 no's, but you have the yes on question 1, hackathon experience, it will still be an experienced team. So that's the only question that beats the majority there. So if you have a yes only on question 1, it is an experienced team. Or if you have any other combination or 2 or more yeses, it's also an experienced team. Otherwise, it's a beginner. I hope that is clear enough. After you have decided if you have an experienced or beginner level team, you will look at the solution category. As I said, you can either put your team in the disruptive technology or the social impact category. And again, we have 3 questions. The first question is about the added value. So either does the solution introduce a novel tool or technology? Then you look at the disruptive technology. Is it a yes or a no? Novel tool or technology, yes or no? And then does it rather propose significant added value to the society? So is it technical or added value to the society? And here you do have to answer both. So let's say that it was something focusing on a new tool or technology, then you put yes on disruptive technology and no on social impact, so that you answer both of these. And on each line, you can only have 1 yes and 1 no. So you can't put yes on both disruptive technology and social impact on the same question. It needs to be one or the other. I hope I'm clear. Then we go to the focus outcomes, second questions. Does the solution focus on challenging and reshaping existing markets and aims to create economic value? Yes or no? And then look at the other part. Or does it focus on addressing societal issues and creating positive change? Yes or no? Again, one or the other. And then thirdly, the target audience. Does the solution target businesses, industries, consumers? Yes or no? And does the solution target individuals, communities, specific societal groups that require assistance and support? Yes or no? So in the end, you would end up with 3 yeses and 3 nos. And then you check, you count how many yeses you have on both of those subcategories, and then decide which one got more yeses. Therefore, that's your category. Excellent. Before I move onwards, I will show you, it's a bit of the same things, but it's also a bit different. So this is the evaluation grid that you will hand out to your jury members. As you can see here, you have the different criterias and you have the description and you also have the scores. And it's indicated how many scores, is it 10 or 15 max points for each. The good thing here is that the jury members can edit this file like this and give their scores and so on. And you have all the 6 scores that we just discussed, and then it will count for a total there. Or you, of course, will do do that count. And again, you have the same instructions here. So what is an excellent score? What is good, fair, poor, not good score? And then you have the same local winner category grid, and then in terms of skills, and then in terms of the actual category, technology or social impact. And same here, you can edit this yourself like this easily. And same for this. So should be fairly easy once you get started with this. Jumping back to my other presentation. Excellent. So the process of submitting your winner solution after you have identified it and you have decided which category it belongs to. Then you go to approve the solution from your personal space, as I showed before, and then you select your local winner from the solutions in your personal space. Choose the category for your local winner, as we just discussed, and then you should send the winner form link to the winning team. And this is important so that we in the central team actually know that they are your winner and know that we should take them into consideration. The form is a bit different from their solution form before they presented. So they should fill in this even though they have already submitted for the presentation part. They fill in here more information about their solution and whatever they want to add. They have 10 days to do this, so a bit more after the event. This means that they can actually add things. They can maybe pivot, maybe tweak a few things here and there with your support or with your mentor's support, so they can still develop some parts if they want, and if you guys want that for your participants. In this form, they can also, of course, fill in the details about their and descriptions and everything about their solution and project, but they can also add files such as their slide deck or any pitch deck presentation, any demo that they have recorded and filmed. Maybe they want to do a recorded pitch to explain whatever they want to add, they can fill in and add to the form, and whatever is in the form is what they will be evaluated on once the big voting starts. And of course, attend the main stage event, both yourself as a host, but also all the participants on 13th of November. And here we have a better visualization of how you can decide and let us know who your grand winner is. So we've been here before. It's the same personal area solutions tab, and then you click simply click is winner right here. Yes. So what happens next after your winning team has now also submitted and you have let us know through the website if they're a winner or not? The DigiEduHack steering group will determine which winners become finalists in the global DigiEduHack competition, and these will be revealed in January 2024. The finalist solutions will then undergo a public voting early 2024 so that people can select their favorite in each category. And as I said before, both the jury steering group work and the public voting will be based on whatever material has been sent in previously. We will have 4 global winners. That means that we will have an experienced category team and a beginner category team from both disruptive technology category and social impact category. So that's why we make you fill the grid as well. The elected winning teams will be eligible for the global prizes if they succeed at this tier of the competition. So it's a big thing. And then, of course, the Global Award winners will be revealed in March 2024. That is it for me when it comes to judging and evaluating and sending in your winning submissions. If you wish to have more information about how to submit, there was another coaching call that went through it a bit more in detail. So if something feels a bit like we didn't touch upon it enough this time, there's a video for it previously in the playlist as well. If you have any questions, as I said, you can still ask them here in the chat or then reach out to us through email or in those support calls. And as you know, this was call 11 out of 12. So next week, we will meet for the last coaching call. And since the format there is a bit different, it will be a Q&A format to answer all of your unanswered questions that we haven't touched upon in the last 11 weeks. You will receive an invite for this personally, and we will meet for more interactive sessions where you can ask us questions as well. So stay tuned and wait for an invitation for that one. And I wish you a lovely afternoon and evening. And I thank you once more for joining me in this DigiEduHack coaching call.